There's a still point within each of us, a quiet, steady place, untouched by the noise of the world. But in moments of chaos, it can feel almost impossible to reach. The mind races, the heart tightens, and we're swept away by fear, urgency, or overwhelm. Yet, no matter how turbulent it becomes, that stillness never leaves us. It waits patiently beneath the surface, ready to hold us the moment we remember to return. That return is what I call returning to the light within, coming back home to your heart when the world outside feels anything but peaceful. I learned this not from a single grand revelation, but through countless small collapses. Times when everything felt too loud, too uncertain, too much. I would catch myself scrolling endlessly, trying to outrun my discomfort, or overanalyzing every problem until I felt paralyzed. It wasn't until I stopped and took one conscious breath that I realized peace wasn't something I had to find. It was something I had to remember. Returning to the light within isn't about denying the chaos or pretending everything is fine. It's about staying rooted even while the storm moves through you. It's the strength to stay open hearted when you could easily shut down, the grace to soften when fear demands you harden, the wisdom to pause before reacting, to breathe before speaking, to listen before assuming, to feel before deciding. There's a quiet courage in that because chaos has a seductive pull. It tells you to hurry, to fix, to defend, to control. But peace moves differently. It slows you down. It whispers instead of shouts. It doesn't demand, it invites. And the more you learn to recognize that voice, the easier it becomes to choose it. Imagine standing in the middle of a stormy sea. The waves are high, the wind fierce, and everything feels uncertain. That's how life often feels when challenges come all at once. But deep below the surface, the ocean is calm. No matter how violent the surface becomes, its depth remains still. That depth, that inner steadiness, is your heart. And when you return here, the waves lose their power to toss you around. That's the essence of returning to the light within. Not fixing, but feeling. Not escaping, but embracing. Not controlling, but surrendering. The heart knows how to find stillness even in motion. It knows that chaos outside doesn't have to create chaos within. We often forget this because we've been conditioned to seek peace externally through order, through resolution, through problem solving, through control. But lasting peace is not found in perfect conditions. It's found in how you meet imperfection with presence, with patience, with compassion. When you're anchored in your heart, your energy shifts. Instead of reaching from fear, you respond from wisdom. Instead of absorbing the collective anxiety around you, you become a source of calm for others. That's the quiet power of peace. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply is. And its presence transforms everything it touches. I've seen this in the simplest moments. Taking a deep breath before stepping into a difficult conversation, choosing to walk outside instead of spiraling in thoughts, pausing before replying to an angry message, or when I really have to get it off my chest, write the message and keep it in the draft folder. Each time I returned to my heart, the situation didn't necessarily change, but I did. And that changed everything. My tone softened, my perspective widened, my energy felt lighter. Peace doesn't eliminate the storm, it changes how you stand within it. It's easy to believe that chaos is stronger, that fear or conflict have more momentum. But think of how a single candle can light an entire dark room. Peace works the same way. It doesn't need force, just presence. The more you embody it, the more it spreads, silently like ripples across still water. When we speak of returning to the heart, it's not just poetic language. The heart is the energetic center of balance between giving and receiving, between being and doing, between the physical 3D world and the higher dimensions. When you bring your awareness there, your whole system begins to regulate. Your breathing slows, your mind quiets, your nervous system finds safety. From that place, clarity returns, and your actions flow with more grace. Sometimes the world's chaos isn't out there, it's within, because we resonate with the same frequency we carry. Old fears, past wounds, self doubt. Returning to the light within means learning to meet even your inner storms with love. When anger arises, you breathe into it instead of pushing it away. When fear tightens your chest, you whisper to it, "You are safe here." That tenderness transforms energy faster than any resistance ever could. And when you practice this enough, peace stops being something you visit. It becomes who you are. You start to live from your heart naturally, even when challenges arise. You begin to notice that the same peace that holds you in solitude also moves through you when you speak, when you work, when you love. It becomes a quiet rhythm that carries you through life. I often think of peace not as the absence of noise, but as the presence of alignment. When your heart, mind, and actions move together, you feel grounded no matter what's happening around you. That alignment radiates through your presence. It's felt in your voice, your choices, your energy. People around you feel calmer, safer, more open, simply because you are anchored. But peace also requires honesty. It asks you to see where you're clinging to chaos out of habit, where drama feels safer than silence, where overthinking feels more productive than trusting, where you confuse being busy with being purposeful. Returning to the light within sometimes means letting go of identities that were built around struggle. It means realizing that ease isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. And perhaps the greatest act of peace is choosing to live in harmony with yourself, to forgive your past, to stop fighting the parts of you that are still learning, to know that even when you feel lost, the heart always leads you back. So when the world feels too heavy, when you are tempted to spiral into the noise, pause, take one breath. As you breathe, imagine your awareness sinking from your mind into your chest, into that space of warmth and light within you. Let it expand with each inhale. Let it soften the edges of tension. Let it remind you that peace isn't something you need to chase, it's something you already are. The more you practice returning here, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you won't have to think about it. Your body will remember. Your energy will know the way home. And maybe that's what returning to the light within truly means. Not just finding stillness in meditation or quiet spaces, but carrying it with you into every moment, into conversations, into choices, into chaos. Because peace isn't an escape from life, it's the heartbeat of life itself. The world doesn't need you to be perfect, it needs you to be present, to stand in love when it would be easier to collapse in fear, to radiate steadiness when everything feels uncertain, to remind others simply through your being that peace is possible, even here, even now. So, when the noise rises again, as it will, remember this: peace is not somewhere else, it lives within you, steady and unshakable. All it takes is one breath, one heartbeat, one return to remember who you are. And when you live from that remembrance, no storm can take your center. You become the calm in the chaos, the stillness that brings others home too.